We're back at the abandoned Pennsylvania Turnpike. This is the very beginning outside of Breezewood. Over there is a section that's still owned by the Turnpike Commission. That stretches for another quarter-mile. There used to be a bridge here, but it was torn down back in 2005. Hopefully we can drive around to the other end so I can show you what it looks like over there. But right up this way takes us back to Rays Hill Tunnel where we were last time. So I'll tell you a little more about that when we get back there. Well, we're starting to approach Rays Hill Tunnel again. And just to give you a better view of what we showed you last time, there's some more highway reflector leftovers. And here are the rumble strips again. And since last time I found out that these have been here since around 1988, which is 25 years ago. And there's still some lane markers painted on the road. And right up around that turn is Rays Hill Tunnel. So we'll see you there. Right here's an old guide rail right outside of Rays Hill Tunnel. Kind of hidden back in the weeds a little bit. This, as you can see, is more of a modern one. Older ones from back when this road was open would have been more boxy and flat. This is a more modern corrugated one. I'm going to get a little closer here so you can see. These were probably installed around the same time as those rumble strips were put in, just to teach highway workers how to put them up. Alright, here's the bridge that I showed you guys last time. There's the road, what it looks like in the day. And over here is the other side. And if I'm not mistaken, since the last time I checked, I believe that this is something like Mountain House or Mountain View Road. I'll put a footnote at the bottom here somewhere with the right name when I find out what it is. But yeah, and right up around the turn, there's Rays Hill Tunnel. Well, we're inside of Rays Hill Tunnel, inside of the road. At the western portal, there's a door that I guess cars would have drove in at one point. As you can see, this is in pretty bad shape. Light sockets up there, fuse panel, electrical conduits laying on the floor. And here's the stairs that head up to the exhaust fans. And that's where we're going to go right now. Pretty rickety. So, for you adventuring YouTubers, if you ever come here, proceed with caution. There's an old sink. I'm guessing this was a bathroom at some point.
Yep.
Let's check out this room here. This is immediately upstairs from the room we were in before. Here's a view of outside. And there you can see down through this hole here where we were before. Back in the stairwell here, more stairs. Again, proceed with caution. You can see the top of the tunnel arch right there. This is what it looks like from the inside. Pretty gnarly. Some old pipes and stuff right here. Behind us, more stairs. And over here are the giant exhaust fans. They would have vented car exhaust out of the tunnel. Now, I'm not sure how sturdy this is. But I'm guessing it's still pretty sound.
Well, it's all concrete.
But here we are, up in the exhaust vents of Rays Hill Tunnel. Now back here is the grid you can see from outside, and that's where the Rays Hill sign used to be. Sometime in the late 80s or early 90s, someone stole all the letters. Back in here's some kind of room. No idea what this is. You look down through there, you can see up in the tunnel. Go ahead and go in there. I think it's safe.
Yeah, it's all concrete.
This is the part of the tunnel you can't see, or couldn't see, back when cars used to drive through it. Down there's the roadway. As you can see, it goes the whole length of the tunnel. There's some rails. Must have been for a service car of some kind. We've seen a lot of people here today. You can hear them talking down below us. We're going to explore this a little bit more and then head back down and get to the other end of the tunnel. Big old exhaust turbine. That's what the inside of it looks like. There's the actual fan itself right there. Still mostly intact. This is the motor for one of the fans on the other side of the tunnel. Apparently the Muffin Man's been here somewhere.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Yeah, he's a dick. There's a robot. Looking inside the giant turbine again. Pretty cool. Here's a ladder. I'm not even going to try and climb that ladder. But, you know, for something that hasn't had any work done to it in 40 plus years, I'd say it's in pretty good shape. So we're going to head back down the stairs now and back down to the roadway. We'll see you when we get to the other end of the tunnel.
Old heater.
Alright, we're inside a Rays Hill tunnel, and it looks like someone at some point ripped one of the light fixtures out of the wall. Up there is where it used to be at one point, and now it's down here underground. So that just shows you what happens with 45 years of no service. This is the eastern end of Rays Hill Tunnel, and as you can see, unlike the other end, there's no exhaust fans at the top. That's because this is the shortest of all the 7 original turnpike tunnels. Now what's interesting about this, if you've ever seen the movie The Road, this is the scene where the big truck comes out of the tunnel right before they have the big shootout. This happened right here back in 2008. The movie came out in 2009, and the clip is up somewhere on YouTube, so if you search for it you'll be able to find it. Right now there's people inside the tunnel checking it out, and if you look up the road this way, that's the way you get to Sideling Hill Tunnel, and that's where we're headed next. So we'll see you when we get there. Walking along the road here outside of Rays Hill Tunnel, and you can see some leftover double line here in the middle of the westbound lane. Over there's the eastbound lane. It's in worse shape, so we're sticking to this one for our journey to Sideling Hill Tunnel, which by my guesstimate is probably about 5-6 miles that way. Turning back here, That's how far we've come from Rays Hill Tunnel. Not very far, but you know, that's all part of the fun, right?
Yep.
So, on we go. Well, we're almost to Sideling Hill Tunnel, and we found yet another bridge. There's a dirt road that goes underneath. Again, not too sure which one it is. I'll put a caption like right here somewhere. This goes down here. You can see there's somebody just drove under it. Well, we made it to Sideling Hill Tunnel. You can see it's kind of a busy place today. At one point in time, this was the longest tunnel on the turnpike. So here shortly, we're going to head inside and check it out. A little bigger than Rays Hill Tunnel, as you can see. If we zoom back here a bit. This is the western portal. Up above there is where the exhaust fans are, just like Rays Hill Tunnel. The only difference here is there's going to be one at the other end when we get there. So, right now what we're going to do is we're going to climb up inside and see what there is to see. So just like Rays Hill, here are the giant fan turbines, just like we saw before. Another engine room. Again, inside the giant turbine. Pretty cool. Check that back in here. See what there is to see. Just like at Rays Hill Tunnel, little railway here to access the whole length of the tunnel from the top. Here you can see all the exhaust vent holes and just the various structures of the tunnel. There's what's left of the light fixture. Pretty neat echo in here.
Yeah.
Don't fall in the whole lots of broken glass here. More stairs that head up outside towards the back of the fans. And here we are at the top of the tunnel, right outside of it. So there's an idea of how high up we are. Obviously someone has been on top of the turbines and climbed up through the exhaust vents. I'm not about to try that, but
No.
several have before me, and I'm sure plenty more people will give it a try. So we're going to head back down the stairs and continue through the tunnel.
Watch your step.
Yeah. Because these bottom few steps are falling apart pretty bad. And now we gotta follow the path. Rocks and blocks. And get back outside. Back in 1988, this whole tunnel was boarded up right here where the roof turns flat. And they removed the wall whenever they decided that they wanted to start using this tunnel for different purposes. Among the different things they used these tunnels for was like emissions testing and safety for reflectors and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to head that way just for those people who are going and see what we find when we get in there.
Talk to you in a few.
Well, we're at the eastern end of Sideling Hill Tunnel, and we were going to go up and check out the exhaust fan at this end, but there's one little problem. There's no stairs left. And I don't know about you, but I am not going to try and climb that piece of wood.
No.
So we're going to cheat and try and get up there from the outside. Thinking this is the way to get up to the top of the tunnel, so we're going to try it.
Holy hell, it's hot up here.
Clearly someone was here at 4:20.
Yep. Hey, check it out.
Somebody's got a tent set up back there. So here we are at the top of the eastern end of the tunnel. Note how they use old highway signs to board up the windows.
Yep.
I guess they had to use them for something. So just like at the western end, here's a set of stairs from the outside. Let's check them out. I think the door's locked.
You think? Don't cut yourself up.
Hold it.
Here.
Like before, here's the engine and the turbines. Looks a little muddy through here.
Oh, dude. Yeah, come on.
And the turbine again, just like before. Not much different here. We're just at the other end. There's an old locker of some kind. This was probably where they stored various tools and sort of stuff like that.
Alright, I'm heading up. Take their way. Yeah, just follow us here.
On the other side.
Wait, watch. Get it.
Give me my camera. Ow! There.
I'm coming through here.
Chris, come on.
Same story as before. This in here just takes you to
I just messed up rails.
to access the exhaust portals in the tunnels. Some of these may have also been light fixtures at one point. That just stretches the whole way up that way for about a mile and a half. As you can see, this end of the tunnel is pretty popular too. And you know what? We didn't do it with the last time. I'm going to try and go up. Let's go. A little pants adjustment here. And here we are, looking at, now at one time this was all covered in glass, as you can see leftover bits of it. And at one point the outside of the tunnel said Sideling Hill Tunnel on it. And this over here, I'm looking out that way.
That is where we came from.
So I guess the only thing left to do now
Is to get out of here. Okay,
now for the big climb back down.
which way you want to go?
Same way we came.
Okay,
Probably the safest way.
all right. We will check back with you in a few moments.
We're at the site of what used to be the Cove Valley Travel Plaza, about a half-mile from Sideling Hill Tunnel. Basically, this used to just be a rest stop. You could stop, you know, get something to eat, go to the bathroom, whatever. At one point, this was used as a shooting range for the Pennsylvania State Police. It's not used for that anymore. As you can see, there's no building here anymore. That was taken out years and years ago. But, you know, it's still part of the abandoned Pennsylvania Turnpike. It's blocked off with concrete barriers, so if you tried to bring an ATV or something up in here, you wouldn't get very far. But, you know, for being a whole lot of nothing, it's actually quite fascinating just to realize, you know, what used to be here. A lot bigger than I thought it would be. The actual road itself is up over that mound right there. And we're off to the side. Lots of wide open space here. And as a little side note, when we first started back at Breezewood, we were north of the modern day turnpike. Having gone through Sideling Hill Tunnel, we're now south of the modern day turnpike. There's an old sewer cap.
Yep, old manhole cover.
And we're approaching the other end of the Cove Valley Travel Plaza. So when we get to the end of the highway, we'll wrap this thing up. Well, we finally made it to the very, very end of the abandoned Pennsylvania Turnpike. We just walked about 10 miles. Behind us here, you can see where they removed the old Pumping Station Road bridge. Up over this mound is Pumping Station Road. You can't see it from here. But just to recap what we've done, we started out in Breezewood. We explored Rays Hill Tunnel again, walked another 6 to 8 miles, went through Sideling Hill Tunnel, checked out all the exhaust fans. We saw Cove Valley Travel Plaza, or what's left of it. And now here we are in the middle of nowhere. So that's the abandoned Pennsylvania Turnpike. Hope you enjoyed our journey. I know I did. But right now I'm tired, stinky, grumpy, and I want to go home.
Same here. Let's get the hell out of here.
Let's.
Nate.
Just a little extra footage. We're driving along Pumping Station Road. Up there is the end of the turnpike that you're allowed to get on. And over here is the part that's still owned by the Turnpike Commission. And obviously you can't go that way. But that goes on for another 3 miles. Like I said, back there is where we just were. See all the pretty rocks. And right now we're headed back to Breezewood. Right now we're on Little Egypt Road, and over there is more of the abandoned turnpike. That part is still owned by the Turnpike Commission, so we can't get down there, but we can at least drive over top of it here. You can see that heads back up towards Pumping Station Road, and then you can't see it real well from here. Right there's more of it, and you can see a bunch of lines and stuff painted for when they used to train PennDOT workers how to paint markers and stuff down there. Obviously they had a lot of practice because there's lines all over the place. But up that way heads towards Houston town. There's a bunch of hay bales down there and stuff like that. So off to Breezewood. Okay, so I screwed up. It's called Mountain Chapel Road, and it's right there, and that's the one that goes back to the bridge near Rays Hill Tunnel.